So here's the question. What separates a good player from a great player? So many people think that it comes down to who has the best stroke production, who has the biggest serve, who's the fastest, who has the best raw talent. But secret, that's not actually true. In fact, I've seen countless points, games, sets, and matches lost by the superior player, meaning the one who had more athletic talent or just who had better stroke production, and yet they lost to an inferior player in those areas because the inferior player was actually superior in the mental game. And so in today's video, we're going to be looking at 12 mental habits, largely adapted from the great sports psychologist, Dr. Jim Loehr, which are the building blocks of a really strong mental game. And the really great news is that just like strokes, your mental game is trainable.
I have to correct you, it's not a gift. It's something that comes with work.
So let's go ahead and jump on in. Habit number 1, eye control. Control your eyes, control your mind. Why? Because your eyes tell your brain what to focus on. And if they're darting around, so is your mind. So looking at the crowd, watching the opponent, all sorts of stuff like that, don't do it. The best idea is pick a single spot. Focus on your strings, focus on a part of the tennis ball, focus on a part of the ground. When your eyes focus in, so do your thoughts. Habit number 2, rituals. Now look, newer players tend to be really terrible with this particular one, but rituals are your antidote against chaos, and chaos will lead to utter destruction on the tennis court. So before every serve, every return, build a repeatable routine. It might be 3 bounces or 500 in the case of Djokovic, might be weird, like Nadal, where he touches his ear, pulls out his pants, and wipes his nose, and does all this stuff. Whatever it is, it's yours, and that's going to be an antidote to the chaos that's trying to take over your game. Because routines, they help regulate your nerves, they reduce stress, they improve mental strength, they boost confidence, and it helps you to actually do your best on the next point. Without one, we're going to be rushing and panicking, and so many players, we give away so many free points simply because we gave into that chaos. Habit number 3 is pace. Here's a great rule of thumb. Never let a match speed you up. You're the one in control. Great players, they play with purpose, not out of panic. So if you have a bad point, if you hit a bad ball, slow down, walk to the back fence, take your time so that you don't just rush up to the net and then out of frustration from the previous point, you just sell out on the next one. Now, on the other hand, if you see your opponent getting frazzled, well, then it might be a really good idea to speed up the tempo, to play faster points. But once again, it's in your control. You own the tempo of the match, and you're probably going to own that match. Habit number 4, breathing. Now, this might sound obvious, but it's not. So in many ways, breathing links your body to your brain. And when that pressure comes on, most players, they don't even realize it, but they hold their breath. So they go up to serve, and they hold their breath, and their body gets tight, and then they double fault. Or the forehand comes, they hold their breath, and then they shank the ball. So before a point, take a deep breath in, and then breathe deeply out. When you're going to hit the ball, breathe out. Kind of like a boxer. They go, and they're breathing out. Well, all of your great tennis players, they are breathing out. If you need to say a word, say hit or yes, something that as you're hitting the ball, you're breathing out. Because when you breathe out, your muscles go long, you get loose. When you hold your breath, you get tight, and it adds tension into your swing, and that's never a good thing. Habit number 5, high positive intensity. Now, intensity is not just high volume or fist bumps. The formula for intensity is focus plus energy plus purpose. You can have all the zeal in the world, but if you don't have control, that's going to lead to chaotic, sloppy, and unsustainable play. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is that this isn't magically going to happen in a match somewhere. We actually have to practice this intensity, this controlled intensity on the practice court. What that means is 100% on the drills, 100% on the practice sets, 100% on the footwork, so that when we get in the big match and the pressure is really piling on, your natural default is passion, zeal, with control. Habit number 6 is body language. How often have you seen players on the court, they hit a bad shot, and then the shoulders droop and the eyes go down, and you don't know what they're saying, but you know it's not good. They're hitting their racket, they're slamming their racket. Look, when I'm on court and I see my opponent doing any or all of that, my confidence goes through the roof. So look, when you're on court, we need to realize that at every moment, we are communicating with the opponent. We are telling them something about us, how we're feeling, how we're playing, what our plans are. So when we give in to negative body language, when those shoulders go down, when the eyes go down, all of that stuff, we're telling them that we're in trouble. And that then emboldens them, and it just makes things bad all around. Habit number 7, relaxation and calmness. High performers aren't tense. They tend to be calm, especially when they're under fire. Now, that doesn't mean low energy, which we talked about earlier. It means controlled muscles. It means smooth movement. And here's a key, efficiency, which is no wasted effort. So next time you're out, try this. When you're finished with a point, take the racket from your right hand and put it in your left hand. Give your right hand a chance to rest. That little mini reset, even something that small, can make a huge difference. Habit number 8 is managing your mistakes. Look, tennis is a game of errors. What that means is mistakes aren't the problem. It's more likely it's that our reaction to those mistakes are the problem. So we get a bad bounce, or the other player gets lucky, or we get this beautiful sitter and then shank it. We've got to let it go instantly. The best players in the world, they have one-point memory. No matter what happens, they walk back, they go through their routine, through their ritual, they reset, and then they go into the next point 100%. Habit number 9, negative self-talk. Here's the key. Watch your mouth. Be careful what you're saying to yourself. Make sure that what you're saying is positive, that's building up and not tearing down. I know it sounds simple, but we've all been there. You know that inside of your head, there's this voice that's always saying, that was a terrible shot. You're not going to win. What are you doing here? Negative, 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 negative. And the truth is that if we continually tell ourselves that, we're going to believe it. So stop calling yourself names and stop replaying those mistakes. In fact, speak to yourself like you would to a teammate, something clear and positive and beneficial. Habit number 10, enjoyment. Look, tennis is a battle, but it's also a gift. Far too many people are focused on winning rather than the process. If you focus on the process, you're going to find you enjoy the game a whole lot more. And when you enjoy the game a whole lot more, you're going to be stronger mentally, physically. You're going to make better shots, better decisions, and ultimately, life in general will just be better. Habit number 11, just a positive attitude. Look, negativity is natural. It's the easy thing to do. Positivity is hard, but here's the good news. Positivity is a choice. I remember this last season, 2 of my female players, they were playing some big dogs, and man, they got a crush. It was something like 0-6, 1-6. At the end of the match, when they were shaking hands, one of my girls looked at the other team and they said, well, y'all are lucky this ain't the best of 5. And I just thought that is absolutely hilarious. That's that positive attitude. Now look, this one takes work and it's going to take a lot of practice, but I promise you, it'll pay off. And lastly, we have habit number 12, racket up. Now, this might sound simple, but racket up can be your cue. When you get that racket up, what that tells you is eyes up, head up, chin up, shoulders up. So find your personal cue. Maybe it is the racket up, but maybe it's something else, and then work it into the routine. Because when you do it every time, it'll refocus you, and on top of that, it'll tell your opponent, I'm still here, and then it'll tell you, lock it in, because every point deserves your best posture, your best effort, and your best presence. So in closing, look, mental toughness isn't magic. It's kind of like a muscle, and muscles improve with reps, and so can your mental toughness. So I want you to train these 12 habits just like you train your forehand. 1 point, 1 game, 1 set, 1 match at a time. Do it with purpose, and I promise you, you will improve vastly, because back to the opening, I've seen so many games. In fact, you've probably been a part of them. You lost the game. Your strokes are better than theirs. You think your game is better than theirs, and yet you lost. A lot of times it simply comes down to mental fortitude. So I hope this video helped you. If it did, in any way, shape, or form, be sure and like and or subscribe. I got a lot more videos coming to you soon, and although I'm not on court now, I'm gonna be headed there shortly. So until then, I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you on court soon.